Hello, this video is about how you solve an inequality. And an inequality is simply a mathematical phrase that has a less than or a greater than, a less than or equal to, or a greater than or equal to sign in it instead of an equal sign. Now, when we solve an inequality, we follow all the same steps as we do when we solve an equation, except one thing. If we multiply or divide by a negative number, we flip the direction of the inequality sign. So let's see what I mean by this. Here's our first example. X divided by 3 plus 4 is greater than negative 6. So we still split it in two, and we're going to follow all the same steps to get x by itself. So I'm going to start by getting rid of this plus 4 by doing the opposite, which is minus 4. So I'm left with x over 3, and then on the other side I have negative 10. But now the big question, the thing that's different about inequalities, is I'm looking at this symbol and deciding should it stay the same or should it change? Well, because our step, what we just did, was subtracting 4, my symbol is going to stay the same. Because, like we said, it only changes if we multiply or divide by a negative number. But really all we did here was subtract 4, so my symbol's not going to change. Now I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to multiply by 3 on each side. X, and then I have negative 30. And again, I have to ask myself, is my symbol going to stay the same, or is it going to change? Well, it only changes if we multiply or divide by a negative number. And what we did at this step was we did multiply, but it was by a positive 3. So my symbol's not going to change. It's going to stay the same. Let's look at another example. Negative 4x minus 9 is greater than or equal to 11. So again, solve like a normal equation. I'm going to add 9 to each side. Negative 4x, and then I have 20. And now I need to ask myself, is my symbol going to stay the same or change? Well, what step did I just complete? My symbol's only going to change if I multiply or divide by something negative, which I didn't. I added 9. So my symbol's going to stay the same. Next, to get the x by itself, I'm going to have to divide by a negative 4. X, the other side I have negative 5, and I need to ask myself, is my symbol going to stay the same, or is it going to change? So if I look at the step that I just completed, did I multiply or divide by a negative number? Yes, I did. I divided each side by negative 4. So my symbol's not going to stay the same. It's going to change, and it's going to point the other direction. So again, to recap, the whole point of this video is to tell you that whenever we're solving an equation, we follow the exact same steps, except if we multiply or divide by a negative number, our inequality sign needs to change direction.